By now, you've probably heard about the slugfest in the Thornton Township, disguised as a council meeting involving Tiffany Henyard, who is the supervisor of the township, her boyfriend Kamal Woods, former City of Dolton employee Lavelle Redmond, and a local gadfly named Jedidiah Brown. Jedidiah walks a fine line between concerned citizen and agitator, depending on which side of the Thornton Township Civil War you fight for. As far as I'm concerned, he's on the right side of history, throwing shade on Tiffany like Trump throws shade on a rhino. And of course, the brawl played out in the most embarrassing fashion possible. And if you hear the term most embarrassing fashion possible used anywhere near Chicago, you know that Tiffany is involved. Apparently, her former ghetto upbringing was too much for her spinner-rim past to overcome. Much like Dr. Strangelove succumbing to his former Nazi ghost, Tiffany rolled up her dukes and jumped into the fray. That's right, the supervisor of a township dived into a brawl, Irish pub style. The publisher of the Lansing Journal, which has covered Chicago suburb drama for many years, weighed in to run interference for the Good Township Thornton, and we are going to hear her take on the matter. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Hello everyone, I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal. I'm recording this on January 28, the night of the first Thornton Township meeting that included newly elected trustee Stephanie Wiedemann. Hello everyone, I am Melanie Youngsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal. I'm recording this on January 28, the night of the first Thornton Township meeting that included newly elected trustee Stephanie Wiedemann. That meeting is all over the internet already because of what happened at the end. I'm hoping in some small way to remind people of all the good that was accomplished before that.
Well, let's not overdo it, Sergeant Carter Hare. It wasn't exactly FDR passing the New Deal or Teddy Roosevelt passing national park declarations here. They didn't get that much done, other than approve some budget items and pass bills designed to wave a middle finger at Tiff. So maybe it was okay after all.
If you haven't heard already, the meeting ended in a brawl, a fight intentionally instigated by someone who doesn't live here, someone whose goal was to provoke a reaction and create a sensation.
You think she's talking about Kamal Woods here, but no, she's going after Jedidiah. And in no way, shape, or form is that accurate. I mean, Jedidiah could have ignored Kamal's taunts, but to claim that he went to the meeting to instigate the fight is absurd. And while some of you will claim that it was Kamal itching for a fight, let me remind you that he was just responding to Jedidiah calling his girlfriend Tiffany a bitch, which is hardly blasphemous. I mean, it's kind of accurate. Can we all not agree on that? But let's get on with it.
He succeeded. The brawl is what people are talking about now, not the meeting, not the business that was conducted, not how professionally our trustees handled themselves.
Let me clue you in, publishing wench. No one talks about the professionalism in which the trustees conducted themselves because at most city council meetings, that isn't news. Suppose I open the Tulsa Tribune and it screams in headlines, Tulsa City Council conducts its meeting professionally. Does not resemble gangs of New York. Do you think I'm going to read that? It is true, however, that if the Thornton Township had ever somehow managed to pull off a meeting where something stupid didn't happen, that would actually be news. So I guess there's that.
Our community has so much to be proud of, and it's disappointing that we have to keep proving ourselves in the face of such immaturity.
Yeah, your community has so much to be proud of. What would that be? Can you tell me? I realize that you live near the land of Al Capone, but the rule is that if you're going to be proud of something, it has to be something positive, like nonviolent, like non-corrupt, like non-stupid. And if you say that you have to keep proving yourselves, When have you, and by that I mean the township, ever proven itself? What exactly did you prove? That you can embark on a marketing scheme centered on mayhem and chaos that would have YouTubers from Tokyo wanting to live stream your council meetings?
We have to keep rising above. And we do. And we will. I considered ending this video before the point where the brawl starts because the real story is everything that happened before that. That's who we are.
No, the real story is the brawl. That tells us a lot more about the township than anything that happened before. Let's face it, the real Thornton Township was a powder keg waiting to go off. The fact that its residents had formed into warring factions pretty much tells the story of the southern suburbs of Chicago. You think this is an isolated incident? Look at the towns in your township. Dolton, Dixmoor, Phoenix, Riverdale, Calumet City, Burnham, and Harvey. The corruption is vast.
But I did leave it in. And I'm hoping that those of you who watch it or who have watched it will see it for what it is. It's not us.
It's you. And by you, I mean the political makeup of the populations living in the South Chicago suburbs. This is you. And until the people quit putting people like Tiffany Henyard in power, it will remain you. But let me be fair. I will now devote an equal time between the fight and all the business stuff that went on before the fight. And I must say that the stream recorded here by the Lansing Journal is far better than those from random audience members. You can actually hear what's going on. Now, this is a long meeting, so let me skip to that point where I think it gets somewhat interesting.
Next on the agenda is old business. Is there a motion to approve supervisor's 100% property tax refund for all homeowners in Thornton Township? Is there a motion?
Notice that the agenda item is labeled Supervisor's 100% Property Tax Refund, as if the money is coming out of Tiff's pocket. The supervisor has no business putting her name on a tax refund, and it couldn't have possibly helped it vote-wise. If Tiff really cared about the people getting their money back, then she would have sidestepped her vanity and given the agenda item a proper name. But she's a narcissist.
Is there a second? I second. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Trustee Gray Everett? Trustee Gonzalez?
No.
Trustee Carlisle? No. Trustee Weedman? Supervisor Henyard?
Yes.
Motion failed.
By the way, you'll notice that Trustee Edwards never responds loud enough for anybody to hear because she agrees with Tiffany. So the motion fails. What comes next is classic Tiffany. Rather than trying to garner support before the item is voted on, she takes the opportunity to whine and snivel about its failure.
I would like to say this for the record, guys. If you could let me finish my meeting, I appreciate it. It hurts my heart. Well, hurts my heart. I won't say hard because I never hurt my heart because I keep doing this here, which is come to meetings and show up and show out for the people, right? So it saddens my heart because people really are hurting in Thornton Township.
She said, "It hurts my heart. What hurts my heart, because I never hurt my heart, because I keep doing this here, which is coming to the meeting and showing up and showing out for the people." Yeah, that is your supervisor talking.
And unfortunately, you guys don't understand how the tax bill works. Here at Thornton Township, whatever portion you paid into was going to be given back to you. So if you paid $53, you get $53 back. If you paid $200, you get $200 back.
So we're being led to believe that the township can make it financially by giving back all the money it received in property taxes, which is the same as not recovering any property taxes for the year. If that is true, then where did they get the money to pay for all their services? It can't be grants, because grants have a supplement, not supplant rule. You can't pay for services through a grant unless the services extend beyond that which the grantee already funds.
The price tag on that is $2 million that we was refunded from our general assistance fund, which we do have. We have over $4 million surplus. You gotta make sure I get that. in that account, and we wanted to give half of that back to the community who so desperately need it. So maybe next time I'm gonna keep putting it on the agenda, until hopefully somebody up here say they really want to help the residents of Thornton Township. So that's the purpose of the property tax refund, whereas in the past, they used to pick and choose who they want to give it to.
If the township has $4 million in surplus and half of that was collected in property taxes for which you want to give back, where did the township get the other $2 million from? So I am extremely skeptical that the township has that sort of revenue. The reason why they picked and chose who to give the money back to was probably because they weren't so insane as to offer a 100% refund. So they had less money to give back and therefore had to make wise choices on who got it. The real problem here is, of course, the township probably doesn't know how much money it has. Why? Tiffany.
I think everybody's entitled to the refund. So with no discrimination, no pick who you know and who you like, it's every single homeowner in Thornton Township was entitled to that refund and would have received that refund right away. So I just want to make sure there's some clarity out there because there's never no clarity as relates to what we're doing. All right, next. Is there a motion to approve bonuses for all Thornton Township employees? Is there a motion? Is there a second? There's been a motion and second. Any discussion? All right, go ahead.
Now, this is a motion to give bonuses to city employees. Under normal circumstances, this would probably be a good idea. But again, the township probably doesn't know how much money it has. So they're doing the wise thing by holding off giving out any bonuses for the time being. Now we'll hear from Stephanie Wiederman.
So before we take a vote on this, I want to just kind of address the employees. When I tell you that, for me, this is definitely a discussion that I would like to keep on the table. I just feel like we need to get through budgets first, make sure that the financials are where we need them to be able to do this stuff. So when I tell you that my vote tonight does not reflect conversations moving forward, I mean that.
Ever since she got elected, Stephanie Wiederman has been playing Godzilla to Tiff's Tokyo. You can see why Tiff did not want her to gain an empty seat at the trustees table. This vote came up last week, and there are a lot of videos covering the meeting, where Tiff's desired trustee candidate got pulverized by a raucous crowd cheering like Tampa Bay bar patrons seeing Baker Mayfield coming through the door. So how big of a blowout was it? Let me put it this way. Tiff's pick had as much chance of beating Stephanie as the Philadelphia Eagles have of beating the referees in the next Super Bowl. I got a reference to the upcoming game in my video. Oh, I just hate myself when I do that. For the record, Tiff and Stephanie can't stand each other. Tiff fired Stephanie real soon after she gained a supervisor position. Tiff fired Stephanie real soon after she gained the supervisor position, and now that decision is coming back to haunt her.
Any more discussion? All right, call the roll.
Trustee Gray Everett. Trustee Weedman. Trustee Carlisle. Trustee Gonzalez.
No.
Supervisor Henyard.
Definitely yes.
Motion failed.
All right.
By the way, definitely yes doesn't score more points than yes, Tiffany.
So let me explain to you guys what just happened.
They know what just happened. Let me remind you.
Employees have been asking for bonuses for years here in Thornton Township. I do know that some employees, when Frank Zuccarelli was here, did receive bonuses, and he just picked whatever price or total that he wanted to give to those that, of course, he liked or loved or whatever, right? But us here at Thornton Township, we wanted everybody to benefit from a bonus.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
That they really, really need. As you can see or saw, in the last 90 days, the board has been gridlocked, have not been showing up to board meetings. And when I say not showing up, I'm speaking of two trustees, Trustee Carmen and Trustee Chris, and I've been here. So we could not take care of any of the business that was truly needed.
The reason the trustees didn't show up was to derail your plans on appointing your Wilhelm Keitel stooge to the vacated trustee spot. Because of that effort, the vote went to the people. So in part 2, I'm going to cover the Brawl. So Be sure to watch that. It's a riot. I mean, literally. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.